Dr. Seuss, redfish, bluefish nonsense. They're telling you to take one scoop.
The gorilla looks.
It's like Viagra. Here we go, man. One scoop.
The gorilla looks.
It's like Viagra.
Let's start with the facts.
Take one scoop. Get over here.
The gorilla look in the garage gym, man.
One scoop. Get over here.
The gorilla look in the garage gym, Let's start with the facts.
What up? What up? It's Garage Gym Homie, baby, and today I wanted to talk about my Phenibut use. All about Phenibut. Is it worth it? Before we get into this here, please click the subscribe button. I got content coming out all the dang time for you. So click subscribe and let's get into this, man. God bless all of you homies. I hope you're feeling amazing, living from your heart and staying out of your dang noisy head, man. So Phenibut, man, I am a Phenibut user. No, I do enjoy using Phenibut, and I'm going to tell you how I use it, what I know about it, what I recommend it for, how. I think I said how I use it. Anyway, man, let's get into this. So I've been using it for a few years, and I've always made on my top sleep supplement list, like my top 5 hardcores, my top 5 like regular use sleep supplements. So I just want to say, I've never used Phenibut by itself as a single ingredient. I've always used it in one of a few products. I've used it in high-tech Pharma. Somatomax is one of my favorite sleep supplements. I used it in Blackstone Labz Anesthetize, which is one of my favorite, which I believe that's also manufactured by high-tech. Ninja Zen, one of my favorite. So those are like my top 3 hitters right there. I've also used it in Crash by Vices and Vibes. And there used to be one, I think, called Tranquility, which was in pill form by, what's that company called? Centurion Labz. And there was another one, too, in pill form, too, by Alpha Flight. And I don't know, maybe I've used a couple others, but I've always rotated them. Like, I haven't used any of the really crazy heavy ones in a while. And the dosages that I've used, Kilo Labz had one called whatever, their sleep supplement, Kilo Labz. They had one, and they had like 500 milligrams. So that was like the lowest amount that I've used. And then it goes as high up as Somatomax is the highest amount that I've ever used, which I think has about 3 grams in it, if I'm correct. A lot of people have kind of cracked the code on the prop blend, and I think it's 3 grams. And then like Anesthetize has 1,800 milligrams. What's it called? Vices and Vibes has 1 gram. And Ninja Zen has 750 milligrams. 750 milligrams does the job, man. I mean, it is that's enough to do the job. Somatomax, you feel it the whole dang next day. And I've always thought that Phenibut is not the best sleep ingredient because in my experience and from what I've read online, it takes 3 to 4 hours really till you feel it. So you might feel it without really knowing it. I guess it's like, what's the saying? Is it a precursor to GABA or something like that? It has very similar properties, I guess, to GHB. And when you take a dose like 3 grams from Somatomax, you can really feel that, because I used to do GHB on the street and stuff, and not for bodybuilding purposes, for recreational. It was way stronger than any of the Phenibut I've taken, but you could tell the reminiscence of the feeling when you take high amounts of Phenibut, like 3 grams. Now, I've done some research, and people on the drug addicts on Reddit, they've you think 3 grams is a lot in Somatomax. Some of these people take 10 grams and just insane amounts. and they don't use it for sleep. They just use it for the day. And I can't imagine what that's about. Something about sleep governs it, so it's not as, you wake up and you feel this amazing feeling the next day. So I'll tell you how I like to take it. I like to take it once to twice a week, usually twice, and spaced out from 3 to 4 days. Now, I will say right now, unless you know deep down in your heart that you can control yourself and practice some restriction, I don't really recommend this for you. If you're one of these people who abuse pre-workouts and you just have this addict personality and you don't have any kind of spirituality or any kind of discipline or anything like, where you are able to practice restriction in your life, I mean, you have it, but if you're not tapping into it, I don't recommend this because this stuff is easy to abuse. But I'd say the same thing about pre-workouts. If you're taking pre-workouts with any pre-workout, really, but especially like the Dark Lab, the illicit stims, the stim junkie ones, the high stimulant, if you don't have any business practicing restriction, I don't recommend you mess with them because I just see people abusing them and taking more than the dose. And I've never taken more than the dose of any of these sleep aid products, man. I've never heaping scoops, or I pull out the scale every single time and take the exact dose, and it does its job, man. So the only other sleep supplements I really use, and these are like here and there, are the what's it called? Like transparent Labz, which has like 2 milligrams of melatonin. I'm really trying to keep it light because I won't even really mess with much stuff that has ashwagandha. It kind of throws me off my square. I don't feel that good the next day. And it kind of lags with me, I notice, some of them. Ninja Zen never does that. And what else was I going to say? Like too high doses of melatonin lag with me too, man. I find like 2 milligrams is my sweet spot. So the way I really like taking the Phenibut is I take it, first of all, I usually keep 1 to 2 Phenibut sleep supps here. So like a heavy hitter, like a Somatomax, which I haven't used actually in, I don't think a couple months, at least a month and a half, probably maybe 2 months. I just don't have any left. And now waiting on, they're sending a tub of Nestatize, just came back in stock by Blackstone, so I'm waiting to get that. So that's like a pretty heavy hitter. It's got like 1,800 milligrams. So I usually keep 1 to 2 sleep subs, usually like a Ninja Zen and a Somatomax or something like that. And I just rotate. I'll take 1 for like a light Phenibut one day, and then I'll wait 3 to 4 days and take another. And it never loses its magic, man. I've never built, I'm sure I built a little tolerance to what it originally did. I used to wake up and it was like, holy cow, that stuff hits and does not quit the whole day. But it still has that same magic. It still has that same magic. And so I just I like using it just for a couple of days a week. And what I noticed about Phenibut, and I try and use it, trying's dying. I use it generally on days, 99% of the time I take it, it's on days where I took like a DMHA pre or something. And then so I'll take it at night, and I feel totally like I wake up refreshed, rejuvenated, like it reset my brain and my adrenal glands. And I noticed that Phenibut, if it is anything like GHB, because I used to say on GHB, like, you could get a few hours of sleep and it's like you got like a whole night's sleep because of just whatever it does. And Phenibut seems like that. Now, I don't take these sleep supplements unless I'm getting at least 8 hours of sleep. And I focus, I don't need any of these to sleep. Let's say 5 out of 7 days of the week, I don't take any sleep supplement. My head hits the pillow, I sleep like a baby. So I specifically really just keep most of the time, as I said, once in a while a transparent Labz or whatever, just to get like an ultra deep sleep on a Friday night or something with the melatonin. But really, like, my head hits the pillow and I'm out like a light and I sleep for freaking 8 hours. I get up twice to pee every night, but that's just because I drink so much water right when I lay down again, because my head's not going crazy. Because I've tied up my loose ends, I've prayed, I've meditated. So I don't rely on any of these sleep supps. I use these because I enjoy using them. And I always tell people, use the supps you enjoy. Now, you'll see a lot of like stuff on the internet about withdrawals from Phenibut and, this and that. And I wouldn't necessarily take that lightly. I believe that's pretty, based on how it feels. I don't think it's actually a dietary supplement. I don't really know that much about it. But it seems like if you abuse it, it's not something to play with or take lightly. You want to, practice restriction in your use with it. And I think that would be the same as any other supplement, whether it's a Stim Junkie pre-workout, a sleep supplement, or a fat burner, any of these things that have potential for abuse. If you can't practice restriction and discipline and use them responsibly, don't freaking be using them, okay? I know we answer to God at the end of the day, and I know my motives. I take Phenibut. I enjoy using it. I use it responsibly once to twice a week, usually twice, never more than that, ever. And it still has its magic, and I use it to freaking get a nice, deep, refreshed sleep on a night where I've taken a Stim Junkie pre-workout. And I wake up, and I feel so good. Even the Ninja Zen at 750 milligrams, which is the lowest one I keep, I just feel so refreshed in the morning and happy and just ready for the day and feeling good. Now, I feel like that anyway. So I always say about supplements, you always never rely on the supplement. Like the pre-workout, like, don't take pre-workout because you don't want to get sufficient sleep. Get sufficient sleep and take the pre-workout, and it'll add another layer to your training. That's the same with these sleep supplements. You don't take them to make up for a garbage routine and stuff like that. You got to have all your ducks in a row, your spirituality, your training, your nutrition, your sleep regimen. I pray before bed. I meditate. I review my day. I make sure I'm not going to bed in anger or fear or owing people apologies. If all that's in a row and I'm right with God, then I could throw in these Phenibut sleep subs and I wake up and I just feel like my adrenal gland, like my brain has been reset. I feel like I can feel stimulants better. And so, a lot of times when you take like a Stim Junkie pre-workout and you wake up the next day and you take a pre-workout and it doesn't really hit because you just took that Stim Junkie one the day before, something about that Phenibut, man, seems to like reset my tolerance. Like, so I can feel the pre's, like I got this deep, refreshing rest where my brain has been reset and like my neurons have been like completely cleansed, and I feel like I could just feel the stimulants better, man. Like I could take a crack gold one day, take Phenibut that night, and then the next day take like a mild daily driver and feel it freaking great, dude. Like it's really an amazing ingredient if you use it responsibly. So I treat it like everything else, where it needs to be, always between you and God, what's right for you. And I got to stay on guard, dude. Like, I get a lot of people who ask me, like, hey, man, as a recovered addict or alcoholic, how do you take these DMHA pre's? Is that a concern? Is that something you worry about? And it's a completely valid question. Yeah, I got to be on guard, man. I have rules for myself, and I don't break them. And I stay on guard for the unguarded moment where my head starts talking to me and saying, hey, man, you could take that DMHA pre 2 days in a row. And I say, hey, man, that's not godly, homie. Like, that's not, me and God, like, I sit there and I listen to my heart. And my heart says, like, if you're going to take these, like, hardcore pre's or whatever, you better freaking have some boundaries, man. And I made a video about like 10 ways you might be abusing stimulants and like pre-workout abuse and stuff. And I wrote, and those are basically the 10 rules I have for myself that I don't break. And I've never broken them. And I'm completely comfortable talking about that. And that doesn't change. I also made a video about how to use high stim pre-workouts all the time without building a tolerance. And that takes restriction. And I believe it's the same with these sleep supplements, man. These Phenibut sleep supplements. Hey, man, they're here for a short time. I don't know how much longer they're going to be here. I freaking enjoy them, dude. They're good to use. They put me in a great. I look forward to it. The nights I take it, I don't obsess over it and think about it for 3 days. Oh my God, I got 2 more days till I could take my Phenibut. It's not like that, but I definitely, on the nights I take a DMHA pre, it's definitely a freaking nice treat to take a scoop of Max or Ninja Zen or something and just feel that good GABA warmth and go to bed and wake up feeling that good refreshing feeling. And it sticks with me like pretty much all day, dude. Like the Ninja Zen kind of wears off in a few hours usually, but I still feel good and relaxed all day. It's like a relaxed energy. You feel like amazing, like energized, but also like relaxed as heck in a sense. And you know, and then when you mix it with some stims or some alpha yo or whatever, it's just the mix of the Phenibut and the stimulant. It's just a great feeling, man. It just feels freaking good. So, you know, I don't know how much longer these are going to be around. So I enjoy them while they're here, and I use them responsibly. And I just wanted to let you guys know how I use them. I suggest if you're going to use them, and I don't suggest using them, but if you are, it's 3 to 4 days apart each use. And I found that way you build no tolerance at all, and you just can continue using it without any adverse reactions. I've never had anything adverse from using Phenibut. It's been nothing but an extremely positive experience for me. As far as how healthy the ingredient is, I don't have enough information about that. I mean, it seems like rest and recovery is a healthy thing. So if you're using it in like very moderation, 2 out of the 7 nights a week, you know, and you're getting extra rest and recovery, I can imagine it contributes to your gains and stuff, because anytime you get rest, the problem is people take this stuff and they run with it and they just go wild. So, you know, I don't know. So the only ones I really know that are still around that are good are Ninja Zen, Max, and Anesthetized. And the Anesthetized is hard to get. That one goes out of stock a lot, and the Max seems to stay around, but that one is that one's a strong one. So that's what I got, man. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it if you do it right, and I believe I'm doing it right. I know people who say, just take, you know, it's okay to take it every night, this and that. I think that's pretty wild to me. I couldn't imagine taking it every night, and then what are you going to do without it? You just can't sleep? I mean, I think that if you can't sleep and you have trouble sleeping, there's a core issue. Something's off with your spiritual life. You're in your head too much. Your brain can't shut off. I don't know, your diet. I don't know what it is. I can't name your core issue, but there's a core issue, because you could strip away every pre-workout from me and I'm going to train just fine. You can strip away every sleep supplement from me and I'm going to still sleep like a baby. I don't rely on any of these for anything. They're all just for freaking extras, more for the head than the muscle, and they're a good time. Use the supplements you enjoy using. I use them because I enjoy them, but certainly not because I need them. And that's what I got, man. God bless all of you. I hope you're feeling amazing. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Hey, man, let's get this dang muscle, homie. I'm out.